All right, Isaac. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Pleasure to talk to you. I know it's been a crazy last 4 months now. It's hard to
Yeah.
believe that this has been going on for that long. But how have you been? What does the new normal look like for you? I understand you've been pretty busy with training and taking some school as well. But how are things going for you overall?
They're okay. I'm pretty sure, as everybody else, I think everybody else would agree with me saying they're kind of fed up with not being able to live their life to the fullest, I guess. But, I've still been able to get out and stay active, which is really all that kind of matters. So keeping consistency with that, I'd say, has been kind of what I've been up to, is just being consistent.
So you're living at home now. You say you've been doing a lot of training. What has your daily routine been looking like?
Usually I'll wake up. I like to get up early in the morning, and then it might be kind of weird, but Mike Tyson would say he'd get up early because he felt like he'd be getting the edge over his opponents. So I don't know how much that I'll attribute to that, but I usually get up and go for like a 20 or 30-minute run or a walk just to get my blood moving and stuff, and then have breakfast, and then around 8 or so I'll go and get my first training in. And then for those, I just follow. I have a program from UBC, and then I also have the under 20 men's Canada program that I'll follow as well. So between those two, I'm at the field twice a day, so I'm pretty busy. And then every now and then in the week, I usually like to mix in some lifting, like some weightlifting sessions as well.
So you're keeping pretty busy, obviously, with training, but you're keeping up with school as well. What have you been taking? What's been keeping you busy academic wise?
Right now, I'm in a medical anthropology class, which kind of is like specifically focused around like COVID-19. So it's kind of interesting. So basically, it's kind of investigating, like it's comparing how previous like generations reacted to like pandemics and stuff like that, and like comparing and contrasting it with currently, like how we're reacting to it, and like what's changed and what hasn't, and like the similarities and stuff that isn't similar. And then in the first summer term, I took an archaeology class that was all about like evolution and like bones and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty unique, I think, to study something that's happening like right now. That
Yeah.
must be pretty interesting, eh?
Well, yeah, when I that's what I thought when I saw it. I thought I may as well, like and it seemed kind of intriguing and interesting. So, and I like stuff that's kind of weird, that has a little, that's like unique, or stuff that's like I don't know, that you don't learn about every day. So I thought it was interesting and would be good to take.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll go back in time here, back to March. You'd had a pretty busy start to 2020. You mentioned you're with the national U20 team. First of all, tell us about that experience and what
Yeah,
that was like for you.
it was great. It was just oddly, it was kind of just before everything got really bad with the virus. Actually, I believe it was in Quebec, like the airport when we were there was somebody who had the virus, was there, like they had been on the flight and in the airport around the same time, but everything, like luckily everything was fine around that. So luckily we missed all that. But yeah, we went to Lisbon in Portugal, which was a great experience, and yeah, it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I definitely couldn't pass it up, and I got to make some new friendships and strengthen some friendships that I already had. And then rugby itself is a really camaraderie and like buddy friendship sport. So, you know, it's always nice to get out there and play with like people that you have a really strong friendship with, and that are also like you can trust and know that they can hold their own and do what's going to be expected of them.
And then when you got back home, you're back with the T-Birds, and I guess you're gearing up for one of your biggest matches of the whole year. And then basically, what, 24 hours before the
Yeah,
Whiteman boot, just
yeah.
kind of everything happened, eh?
Yeah, I remember it pretty vividly because I was very heartbroken when it happened, because it was the night before we got the email, and I thought, no way. And we had just done, it was a specific, like our coach had specifically set it out, like the whole week. Like we had, each day was like, had a specific goal. It was like, okay, today, this is, we're learning in all of our film. We focused in so much on dissecting them. and I'm not going to give the spoil the secrets, but we figured out, we figured out what they're doing, and we were going to be able to stop it, or at least try to. And, we got our chance taken away from us, but hey, that's, it is what it is. I'm sure I'm 100% sure we'll play them. So just have to wait till next time, and it'll be even sweeter then.
Yeah, you'll be raring to go like never before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How have you been able to keep in touch with your teammates, both at the, I don't know, on the national team as well, but also UBC? What have you guys been doing to stay in touch and sort of do what you can?
Yeah, just basically keeping the like the Facebook and WhatsApp and just the general, like all the kind of group chats, just keeping those active and making sure that everybody, like if some like there's a couple teams that have asked for like they'll want like a video or something just to kind of make sure you're doing something, I guess, or like a picture of you doing something. So then like that kind of thing, just making sure that like checking in on people, making sure everybody's doing okay. I like to make sure that like everybody that's in my life is doing all right. So
I think that's the toughest thing for most of us, right? Is just not being able to see people you're used to seeing like every day in many cases. How have you been able to cope with that otherwise? Like you mentioned, you're trying to stay in touch with people. What sort of things have you been doing to reach out to people?
Asking people, like inviting people to come and train, or I've ended up just running into people at like the fields that I train at. I've ended up just running into people, so just being out, I guess. But yeah, just kind of extending a branch and offering like, hey, you want to come and work out or something? I don't know.
You're keeping pretty busy, but I know you're probably missing a lot of things as well. Once we're hopefully back to normal sooner than later, what's the number one thing you're missing that you'll want to do once we're able to gather in larger groups again?
It might be kind of a cheesy answer, but honestly, to like just properly train, like I miss and play like I play rugby. I decided to play rugby. I played like a lot of other sports. So I decided to play rugby because I love it. And that's like, there's no, like when I'm playing my best, there is no better feeling than when I'm playing my best and I'm doing, like, I feel unstoppable. So just like honestly, just getting back out there and doing what I can, getting at what I love.
I know for athletes, obviously that's what you want to do. And for all of us that are fans of sports at all kinds of levels, I mean, there's maybe nothing better to bring us all together. Are you excited to see, a bunch of major league sports in North America kind of starting back again?
For sure. Yeah, I'm definitely, it's been like, basically a drought, like for lack of a better term, I guess, because of sports. I'm a UFC fan. So luckily those have been going on. So I've been entertained with that. But like, yeah, and and the NBA started back up as well. So that's good. So yeah, it's hopefully everything can be safe, as long that's a big like thing as well. Like obviously you don't want to be rushing sports back, like in the big picture. You don't want to rush back a sport if you're putting people back like at a health risk. So
Yeah, no, definitely. So fingers crossed for everything.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, Izzak, thanks so much for joining us, and great to hear from you. And yeah, it sounds like you're doing great. And
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll look forward to watching you on the pitch hopefully soon.
Yeah.